10th round TKO over Angelo Dalogdog was previously undefeated. That was in July of this year. Macado coming off also a win in June of this year over Adrian Dulaire. And take a look at the tape and the tail of the tape. Macado, 4 years older, with a height advantage. And in terms of reach, it's almost even. But as we mentioned earlier, Anthony, it's a battle of southpaws.
Oh, definitely. And we're going to see here our second bout. Second of 13. As we turn it now inside the ring to Bobby Mondihar.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighter coming into the ring, Ramel Macado Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighter coming into the ring, Albert Francisco. Ladies and gentlemen, Manny Pacquiao presents Blow by Blow. Welcome to the 50th anniversary of Thrilla in Manila. In coordination with International Boxing Association, Philippine Sports Commission, and Smart Araneta Coliseum. All professional boxing bouts are sanctioned by the Games and Amusements Board. GAB Chairman, Attorney Francisco Rivera, GAB Commissioner, Attorney Manuel Plaza III, and Angel Bautista. The Chief of Boxing and Other Contact Sports, Mr. Rodil Manaog. Ringside physicians, Dr. Clark Fernandez and Dr. Noel Napa. As the bell rings, timekeepers, Kim Dangan and Romulo Santiago. WBC Supervisor, Akuzang. Mr. Akuzang. Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is for the WBC International Silver Flyweight Championship. Introducing the fighter fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 111.7 pounds. He has a record of 10 wins, 1 loss, 5 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of RJP Boxing Promotions, General Santos City. Ladies and gentlemen, Ramel Macado Jr. Macado Jr. Right across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 111.7 pounds. He has a record of 14 wins, 1 loss, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Johnny Elorde Boxing Stable, Sucat, Parañaque City. Ladies and gentlemen, Albert Francisco. Our judges at ringside, Samantha Bolner and Silvestre Abainza and Gerald Tomeldan. Our third man in the ring from Mexico, Cesar Castañon. This will be 8 rounds of professional boxing.
Look into the camera. Okay, we're talking in the dressing room. I want a clean fight. Protect yourself all the time and follow my commands on the time. Are clear? Touch your gloves. Good luck.
So we now have our second bout. This is for the WBC International Flyweight Championship. We're going 8 rounds.
Albert Francisco, and he's wearing the black gloves against Macado, wearing the red gloves. It's for the vacant WBC International Silver Flyweight Championship. Both these fighters have tasted 1 defeat in their careers. Albert Francisco 14-1 with 10 knockouts. Ramel Macado Jr. 10 wins with 1 loss and 5 knockouts. Francisco fighting out of the Johnny Elorde Boxing Stable of Sucat, Parañaque, while Macado is from the RJP Boxing Promotions of General Santos City. They call Macado the Sharp. Let's see whether he can. Yeah, let's see whether he can show some sharpness here against Francisco.
Boy, both of them.
Yeah,
Good exchange in the middle here.
Macado seems to be getting the better of the exchanges. He's longer, he's more active. He's got that right jab. And here's Francisco coming back.
Good sizing up round for these two individuals.
Francisco attacking the head. Macado throwing punches to the side of the body. One thing about Francisco is that he has gone down in some fights, but he has gotten up to win. And in particular, that fight against Mark Iseles in 2024, he went down in round number 5. He actually lost that fight. But in that fight against Mark Antonio, he went down in round number 1, but he got up to win. That was in passing in 2024. Body shot once more coming from Macado. That's what you notice. It's a different target for both these fighters. Macado's going to the body, Francisco's going to the head. Our Mexican referee, our guest referees, Cesar Castañon, and that's because this is a WBC sanctioned championship fight. One of 4 in this card.
Well, we've got a stack card here for you. As we mentioned at the top of the coverage, 13 bouts. This is only fight number 2.
Very quick on the attack is Francisco, but Macado going to the body and then up to the scores to the head. Francisco not getting his rhythm because he's being tied up by Macado as he comes forward.
Well, Macado's been engaging first here, Canito. Bit of wrestling here from both these individuals, and they get a warning as we enter the final seconds of round number 1.
And this style of Macado of punching and then holding is throwing away any kind of momentum for Francisco. He's got to figure out a way to stop that from happening. He's getting tied up, and he's not able to throw any punches, any meaningful punches. I think maybe Francisco should take a couple of steps back before Macado can hold him. Take a look at these punches from Macado. The right hand to the body. Those are That's a big thing that he's been doing here, attacking the body of Francisco. That time, a shot to the head.
Well, so
right
far
hand.
proving to be a little bit more accurate here, Canito, is Macado.
I thought Macado won that round. Francisco just has to get his momentum going. I don't think he found too much rhythm in that round number 1. There's Albert Francisco. Remember, he's got 10 knockouts in 14 wins, so this guy is a big puncher. Round number 2.
Really like the fact that Francisco now is trying to be the aggressor.
Yes. He wants to take the initiative.
Attempts to be the aggressor here.
Francisco now connecting with some combinations. Macado's countering. Shot in the body once more by Macado. That's his target, the midsection.
Solid connection once again by Macado, as you said.
That wrapped the head back of Francisco.
Looked like he was just playing possum in the first 30 seconds of round number 2. Now he's picked up the action once again.
But Francisco is charging in. He's getting tagged, but he's clearly the aggressor in round number 2.
The more accurate of the two has been Macado here so far, at least in these first 2 rounds. Again, he connects.
Referee Castañon gesturing to keep their blows above the belt line.
Again, a connection by Macado. 1-2.
Even if this is a championship match sanctioned by the WBC, we are scheduled for 8 in the flyweight division. So uppercuts thrown there by Macado.
And he connects once again with the left. Talking about Macado. He's been so precise with his shots.
And the big difference here, Anthony, is that Macado has been able to launch. I think that's important, how you're able to launch your punches, while Francisco having a difficult time putting his punches together. He started out aggressively in this round. Not able to stand the tide here. As Macado very accurate with his right jab and then the punch to the body.
And he connects once again on the left. This has been Macado's round once again. Francisco's 3 seconds. Francisco connects though.
That's a big left hand coming from Francisco. It might have hurt Macado with a big left hand. And as we mentioned, this guy's got power.
What a flurry here.
And what's going on? A little bit of confusion there. The round is ended.
And the referee is actually talking to the judges here.
Well, he's just getting the scorecards, but he did wave off the round after the 10-second clapper. I guess everybody got excited because of the action inside that ring. But referee Castañon kept his wits together. That was a big left hand coming from Macado. But there was that left, also by Francisco.
One of the few punches that landed here late
But
in
that's
round number 2.
certainly got the attention of Macado as he tries to fight back. There's that, the right hand coming from Macado.
Francisco's absorbed so much punishment here. As we enter round number 3, scheduled for 8.
I think the key here is for Francisco to beat Macado to the punch. But the way things are going, it is Macado who's able to establish his point of attack early, before Francisco does. And again, his ability to launch is making it a little easier for him to connect. But here's Francisco. He probably feels he's behind on points. Look at the way he's charging in at Macado.
Francisco's got to pick up the pace. He's definitely down on points here after 2 rounds.
Macado still throwing that right jab very accurately. And one thing about Francisco is that he is a great finisher. And you remember what happened in that fight against Nalugdog last July when he scored a TKO in the 10th round to win the Philippine Flyweight Championship.
So you know, Kinito, he can go the distance. Still a lot of gas in that tank of his, but again, he's absorbed so much punishment here in the first 2 rounds. Oh, Nico Elorde there.
Nico Elorde is here with his family, and as we mentioned, Francisco fighting out of the Johnny Elorde stable. Johnny Elorde is the father of Nico Elorde, former PBA player, and now an NPBL player.
And again, getting the better of that exchange is Macado.
Macado is certainly a lot busier. Throwing a lot more punches, yeah.
Exactly, has taken a lot of punches here. A lot of punishment early. And we're only in round number 3.
Macado's clearly the volume puncher. Throwing a lot of punches. Now Francisco trying to fight back into this contest.
Final 10 seconds here of round number 3. And again, Macado connects with that right.
End of round number 3. It's been a good one so far. Macado getting the measure here of Albert Francisco. Coming into this fight, Francisco was favored. He is the reigning Philippine flyweight champion. Francisco's cornerman, Dennis Laurente, former Oriental lightweight champion, and Macado's cornerman, Bill Plaza. Action from round number 3. Left hand scored, and then the body shot by Macado right at the belt line. And then a counter body shot coming from Francisco, but he got smacked with the right hand by Macado. What we've noticed about Macado is that if he gets hit by Francisco, he wants to be able to retaliate immediately.
Well, so far unofficially, he is ahead after 3 rounds.
Nice.
A little bit more aggressive here is Francisco. He needs to really take the fight to Macado.
That right jab of Macado is bothering Francisco. Right from the start, right from the onset. Again, that right jab of Macado connecting. Francisco throwing that right hand himself. And he connected. What Francisco doesn't have here is a consistent right jab. And that's a weapon of choice of Macado. That right jab has been bothering Francisco no end.
Well, Francisco looks like he's trying to pick up the pace, but he absorbs another right from Macado. And he absorbs a left.
Some good shots here connected by Macado. I think Francisco should show a little bit more patience. He's got to set up his punches. He's looking to knock out Macado with his big right hand. Even if it's a southpaw, he depends on that right hand a lot. But without that right jab setting up his left, or that right hand connecting with a power shot, it's been difficult here for Francisco to get any kind of mileage against Macado.
Now Francisco trying to push the pace. He needs to. He's just trying to push here, Quinito, more than anything else, not punching.
Here's Macado. Just not giving Francisco an inch of an advantage.
For a while there, it looked like Macado was just trying to coast, but then suddenly picked up the pace as well.
Well, you notice that he's not as active in this round as in the previous rounds. So could be Francisco is loading up here as we go to the middle rounds, while Macado needs to be able to make sure that he has last the long haul.
Halfway done here so far, Quinito.
A lot of punches being thrown by both fighters.
And again, as we're going to see in the replay, the more accurate of the two has been Macado.
And the more consistent of the two. And Macado's been able to throw that right jab with a lot of authority. There's a right hand scored by Macado. And then that jab. Watch once more. The left hand, and then the right. Right at the top of the head of Francisco. Scored by Macado. Scheduled for 8 in this fight is we see some of our friends. That's Penelope De Guzman, who's going to be helping us with some courtside interviews later on in the coverage.
Slowly but surely, more of the boxing fans are filling in here to the big dome as we enter round number 5, scheduled for 8, our second bout of the afternoon.
And here's when Francisco needs to pick up the pace. Francisco's trying to turn this into a slugfest. So no need to throw that jab. Francisco's just going for the big punches from close distance.
Not too much action here.
We're getting a warning from referee Castellano. It's Macado for holding on to the arm of Francisco. That's an uppercut scored by Macado. Francisco's turning this into a toe-to-toe contest.
Is that a good thing, Quinito? Because right now, he's always getting the short end of the stick.
Well, it takes away the jab of Macado, that's for sure, because now Macado doesn't have the distance to throw that right jab because he's being crowded by Francisco. So that's one way to neutralize that right jab, which has been a big weapon for Macado. And the other thing, once Francisco's close to Macado, he's got to be able to throw punches that connect. It's not enough that he comes charging in. He's got to throw and connect. He's got to land.
But Francisco trying to go to the body here. But absorb some punishment once again from Macado.
But as in the previous round, Macado's not as busy in this round. He's tapered off a little bit. So even that right uppercut that he just threw very noticeably has lacked power. think his mouth is also a little open, showing that he's gasping for breath. This could be an advantage here for Francisco. As we said, this guy is a good closer. He's a good finisher.
Well, he needs to be able to pour it on here in the final rounds. He is behind in this fight.
Macado standing his ground. He's still throwing punches. See Macado bringing down both his arms, trying to catch his breath.
That's the end of round number 5. Let's see what these two fighters have in just a bit. But as you notice, it looks like Macado has been slowing down. Wasn't as active in round number 5.
And look at Macado, he's gasping for breath in his corner. Well, he's certainly thrown a lot of punches. So maybe his energy might be ebbing. At that time, a nice right uppercut sneaked in by Macado.
Judge A scored 39-37. Judge B scored 39-37. And Judge C scored the same 39-37.
Yeah, but
In favor of the blue corner.
okay, in favor of Macado.
That's
So,
expected.
yeah, under the WBC rules, after in a championship fight, after 4 rounds, you have the liberty of announcing the judges' scorecards. So after another 4 rounds, or at the end of the 8th round, you announce it again. That's if you have a 12-round fight. Now, if you schedule only for 8, you only make the announcement once. At the end of the 8th rounds, the final verdict will declare the winner. Where's Macado?
So we had it right, Quinito. Macado is in the lead here, only losing 1 round.
A nice left hand connected there by Francisco. Macado still trying to throw that right jab. That has been a big thing for him in this fight. Francisco needs to just pour it on. Show that he's got a lot more energy and intensity left than Macado.
Oh, he's going to eat the right though. Macado once again connecting. Wanted to get this round to increase his lead in the fight. This is round 6. A connection there though from Francisco.
The left hand and then the right hand for Francisco. As you see, Macado's a little bit rubbery legged at this stage. I think he's losing steam. And Francisco, as we said, he's a big closer. This is his opportunity. Francisco has the opportunity to turn the tables on Macado.
You can see, Quinito, Macado is connecting, but there's no sting on the punches.
That's right. You can see that he's tired. And Francisco, his stamina is going to carry him to a big finish. Here he is. He's connecting with some big shots here against Macado.
As Francisco realized that there is no more power behind the punches of Macado, and so he's becoming a little bit more daring.
Macado's trying to fight back. Macado's power ebbing a little bit here. He throws a right hand still, but Francisco is just relentless right now. You see that Macado's also going to delaying tactics, trying to get some rest, like what he's doing right now.
Under 15 seconds here in round number 6. Just no more power behind those punches from Macado.
And for Francisco, he needs a clean target. Macado is not giving him a clean target. End of round number 6, 2 more rounds to go. There's Macado being attended to by his cornermen. 3 of them talking to him, telling him to hold on. There's that left hand connected by Macado. And then the right hand. And then the counter left hand connected by Francisco.
But you can see, Quinito, the much more telling blows right now, at least in that last round, have come from Francisco.
That's right. But Macado is certainly not backing off.
Round number 7 coming up here. Scheduled for just 2 more before we have our champion.
Macado using the ring, the space in the ring to move away. And he got tagged that time. Here's Francisco coming inside. Will Macado have the legs to last this fight or even this round?
He's on rubbery legs right now, Francisco, pushing the pace.
Francisco may still be behind on points. He needs a big round here. He needs to put Macado down to pick up a 10-8 round or even score a knockout. Oh, he's connecting cleanly now.
Yes, he is, and with a lot of power behind him, Quinito.
Very little defense here by Macado.
Macado just holding on.
Macado looks like he's ready to go.
He does look wobbly.
Very little gas in his tank left. Francisco, he's got the reputation of a big closer. Here he is in round number 7, scheduled for 8. He's going for the kill.
Francisco's got to look for separation here, Quinito, so he can unload.
Here he comes once more. He's on the attack. And Macado's holding on. Looking to rest his tired legs, his tired hands. Macado's still throwing. Not too much power behind his shots. Connected with the right hand that time.
Francisco still with that relentless pace.
There's loose tape on the right glove of Francisco. Here's Macado. Boy, this guy's got fighting heart.
Well, he is connecting, but just really no power behind those punches.
He's driving himself to get that second win. And the man is down.
That's a push.
He was pushed down, no knockdown. But you see the mouth of Macado's wide open. Here's Francisco.
Nice connection once again by Francisco.
And that's another shot by Francisco. Macado's ready to go. But will there be time in this round? 10 seconds coming up. The time left. There's a 10-second clapper. Here we go once more with Francisco. Macado's trying to hold on.
This has definitely been the round of Francisco.
That's the end of round number 6. Macado barely surviving that assault from Francisco. One more round. Can he hold on? This fight could be his. Unless he's knocked down or he's dropped in the last round. There's Francisco.
And he looks like he can go another 3 rounds, Quinito.
Yeah, this is so dramatic. As you see Macado throwing punches. But Francisco on the attack. What about that big left hand? And that pushed Macado back towards the ropes. Such a dramatic fight, Anthony. You couldn't ask anything more from these fighters.
Exactly, and you can see here, final round for both these fighters. This is round number 8.
Can Francisco do it? Can he pull off a comeback victory?
There's another big shot.
Francisco.
Just to start off the round.
Here we go. Francisco's looking for a knockout. Macado. Can he hold on? Will his legs give way?
What a good start here to the round by Francisco. He knows he's got to throw all the stops right now. He's still down 1 point.
Francisco, look at the way he's moving around. A lot of confidence.
He's connecting, and there, ready to go, is Macado.
Francisco looking for that clean opportunity to throw the big punch. Macado just trying to keep his legs together.
He looked like he was ready to go down after absorbing that right.
There's a shot to the side of the body of Macado. Macado holding on. Once more, but he's down. They do not
That
call
was a
him
push.
knocked out. But he's slow to get up.
But it looked like he was ready to go down as well, Quinito.
Francisco still looking for that knockout. Here's Macado throwing a combination as Francisco came charging in.
That's going to slow the forward progress right now, Francisco, but he needs to push the pace once again.
Francisco
It's
has
the
to
final
go.
round.
He has to go for the home run. He's in danger of losing this fight on points because of the early lead opened by Macado. Macado just trying to stay alive, moving back and forth.
That really looks like it, Quinito.
Yeah.
He knows he was able to build up a big lead, but can he hold on?
A minute to go here in this fight. Francisco still looking for that big shot. The one punch that could end this fight.
Now it looks like Macado's picked up his second win.
But there's no pressure coming from Francisco. He's got to put pressure. Now he's going side to side, is Macado, to avoid those rushes of Francisco, but Francisco's running out of time. He's not pressuring enough. Macado's just moving out of harm's way. Now he's smiling.
Well, because he knows he's 30 seconds away from possibly winning this one.
I think Francisco's going to run out of time.
Macado knows it, 10 seconds, he's just holding on here.
Macado doing a good job of surviving this late assault by Francisco.
Well, the last 2 rounds, clearly, maybe even the last 3 rounds, definitely belonged here to Francisco.
And the way things went in this fight, this could end up a draw. There is a good argument for a draw in this fight because of this late finish of Francisco. Macado thinks he's won this fight. Let's see. Look at him give out a yell before the crowd and raising both his arms.
Well, with our unofficial scorecard, Quinito, the last 3 rounds were all Francisco.
Oh, yeah. And you could tell that Macado ran out of steam down the stretch. But Francisco just couldn't find the right opening to throw that Sunday punch, although we were on a Wednesday. Here we go. Some replay action from the previous round. That was a right hand. Macado almost going down, but Macado still managing to connect with that left and right combination. Gotta give it to Macado. I thought the right jab was the perfect weapon that he chose in the early going. That set up a lot of his punches. Also, it made it difficult for Francisco to find the right opening. That right jab of Macado stymied the momentum of Francisco.
Macado looking very confident inside that ring. He feels he's got the victory, but again, it could go down to a really, really close count because he lost the last 3 rounds. Nice shot there of Pacosa, who was our first fight of the afternoon.
And the corner of Macado looking very confident that he will win the WBC International Silver Flyweight Championship. There's Albert Francisco, the reigning Philippine champion. He started too late, I thought. And he has a reputation of being a big closer, as we've said repeatedly. But Macado might have built up too big a lead in the early stretch.
Was the charge of Francisco enough? We'll find out as we go back to the ring to Bobby Mondihar.
I'd like to call up the ring WBC supervisor Akuzang from China to award this championship belt to the winner.
WBC supervisor Akusa from Japan, holding the green championship belt of the WBC International Silver Edition. Francisco, there's suspense in the air. Who will win this belt?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecard. Judge Bullner scored it 76-76 to Macado Jr. Judge Tomeldan scored it 76-76 draw. It's a draw. Judge Tomeldan scored it 77-75 Albert Francisco. And Judge Abainza scored it 76-76 draw. We have a majority draw. Tabla po mga kaibigan. Draw.
A majority draw has been announced, and you know, we said it, Anthony.
Wow,
We said
coming back here strong was Francisco, because in the earlier announcement, Kinito, after 4 rounds, it was a sizable lead here for Macado.
Well, we did say that it was a late comeback bid here for Albert Francisco, but he escapes with a draw, and majority draw has been announced. Macado had a big lead at the start, but Francisco coming right back
But
to make
Kinito,
it a